Welcome to the March 9th, 2021 episode of Reactive Consciousness, the in-depth podcast about what happened this week in our lives. I'm your host, vysethebold, and this is...
Lotus Prince.
And Dracologist. Good evening.
Good evening, and...
You know, we got 3 people on this cast, and Vice still stuck the landing.
Yeah, and, just in case you guys don't listen to CoreCon on Thursday, beware the Ides of March on Monday. I just have to say that.
I freaking love that.
E2 Lotus.
That's like the funniest thing to me. Beware the Ides of March. No.
So good. I actually do that now. To my parents, like when I hop in the car, and I visited my parents' place like on Saturday, and my dad said, "Be careful," and I said, "No."
That's great.
He didn't know what to say.
I will actively make a point to like be dumb and irresponsible. Oh, okay.
I'm doing it just to spite you.
Like the hacker to look at that children and said, "Nah."
Yeah.
Well, we do have a show. We do have a show to move on with. For those of you who can't see me, which is pretty much everybody,
which is literally everyone, yeah. Oh yeah, all but the two of us, I suppose. Yeah.
I cut my flowing locks. I had it down to my shoulders pretty much for the pandemic, and I finally cut my hair to a very respectable length.
At least yours flows. Mine goes up. I have a perm when I'm not shaved.
I was gonna say you have a Super Saiyan look.
Yeah, mine.
No, more like a Bob Ross Angela Davis thing.
Okay, I'm thinking like super form of Gon from Hunter x Hunter. It's just like straight up and it keeps going like 7 feet.
Paul Naref. But yeah, I mean, I had long flowing locks, and people were mistaking me. Like somebody would say "ma'am" to me, like from behind, like all the time.
Did you go like yes? With like a stupid, like,
I was like,
obvious.
No, actually, I did the opposite. I would be like, "Oh, thank you," like you know.
No, I'm thinking like a Monty Python woman voice, like, "Oh yes, oh." It's like no woman sounds like that.
You can have fun with this.
Oh, there's some lovely filth here.
But no,
little boy, come here. Let me give you a kissy.
Yeah,
I would just reply in my deep voice, like the funniest thing that happened with me and my wife is like, you know, we were at a restaurant outside, and somebody the food runner came up and said, "Pork sandwiches, ladies."
And did you go pork chop sandwiches?
And I said, "Thank you," and he was like, "Oh."
And then you went, get the fuck out.
Oh man, these are good.
Next thing you know,
this is a reverse.
You're on fire.
Like, this is something that reverse, like that. What happens with well, not happens, but he does, like with Gabriel. What Gabriel Iglesias used to do, like when he goes to the driving fast food drive-ins and uses a woman voice.
Yeah, he does have a higher voice. Yeah.
Yeah, he does have a pretty high voice. That's hilarious. I didn't know you knew about Gabriel.
I love the guy. He's such a fuzzy fellow. Like
Fluffy, right?
Fluffy.
That's what they call him. But yeah, we do have news items, believe it or not. So we
what?
On.
Oh, do we?
Real new news items that have bearing on other people's lives other than my own.
So item number 1. Vice's hair is now checked off. We're good. We can move on to item number 2, which is the news.
My haircut is canon. But
Warning, this is canon.
Yes.
This was actually a pretty slow news week, so this is like the biggest thing that happened this week, and it was Epic Games is buying the Fall Guys dev, Mediatonic. Which, you know, I could see that happening. You know, it's kind of like Players Unknown Battlegrounds getting picked up. Pub games, PUBG, yeah, getting picked up. I mean, like, you know, this is a small dev, and they poured everything they had into it. They have one game, but it got insanely popular, and this this game is rife for like all kinds of microtransactions and stuff to add to it, and cross promotion and all kinds of stuff. So, I could see where the potential for this game can certainly be exploited by a big company like Epic. And I think we should have expected it. I'm not happy about it. I mean, I like the idea of a small company making a lot of money, but I also like the fact that a small company made something big and then got to cash out. That's pretty cool too. So, I do like it from that standpoint, and I do like that the game was popular enough to garner this kind of praise, because it's a lot of fun, even just watching it. It's not my type of game to play, but I'll watch like a good half hour of people just doing stupid stuff in this game. So, yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. And this probably the second biggest announcement was a lot less epic here.
I don't know. I mean, look, this is something I care about, but I don't know how many people in general care about it.
So a while back, we talked in length about the Natsume remakes that have been coming out. With Wild Guns Reloaded was the first one, and then it was Ninja Warriors again.
Yeah, that wasn't that Taito?
Taito is the rights holders of Ninja Warriors.
Okay,
However, Natsume, that team from Natsume is the ones who made that.
Okay,
games.
but yes, so, it was Ninja Warriors, just like Wild Guns. There are, but it's the same game except that there are now more characters as well. Wild Guns had 2, and now it has 4. Ninja Warriors had 3, now it has 5. So Ninja Saviors has 5.
And Ninja Saviors,
that's now it's called Saviors, but it was Ninja Warriors on the SNES.
Yeah. Ninja Saviors and Wild Guns were both fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah.
So good, in fact, that I wouldn't even recommend the originals, because like they're everything you wanted and better.
The new characters optimized for widescreen. It looks better than it ever did with a composite cable. It's freaking gorgeous.
Yeah, and it has beautiful sprite work. It's not even like they replaced the artwork or anything. They just made it better.
Yep.
And they even like redesigned some of the like the first boss. It looks radically different, I would say, from the original design of him, but like it looks so good in the new version that you don't want to go back. I really love these 2 remakes. They were two of the best remakes, and they're remakes of like SNES era games that were already good to begin with, and they just made them better.
Well, not only that, but the SNES games are, like, both of those games happen to be very rare and very expensive, so the
Especially
new stuff,
Ninja
just
Warriors.
go get them.
Well, no, both of them. I would actually say at this point, both of them are very expensive.
Both of them always were. Wild Guns maybe a little more, but both of them are super hard to get.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are digitally available. They're also pretty easily available physically as well. So
Wild Guns is. Ninja Saviors, I think, was a limited print thing.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like strictly limited,
I know that
Wild
Guns is easy to find.
Wild Guns is still that was on store shelves.
So I had suspected they had announced that they were going to put out a third game, and I suspected that it was going to be a Pocky and Rocky remake.
Yeah, I don't remember what episode of the podcast it was, but you did call it.
And it absolutely is. So it's Pocky and Rocky Restrined.
If I'm correct, that's the game with the Tanuki and the little Miko girl there.
Correct.
Yeah, Tanuki and the little shrine maiden who throws around those like, I don't know if it's paper, but the little
seal spells.
Demon seals.
Yeah, demon seals.
Yeah, you throw the seals around and you're walking on the grounds, but it plays like a shooter when you're a plane or something. It's just like shooting all the time. It's very fun.
Yeah, and the 2 SNES games are really fun, and they're getting pretty rare too.
I was going to mention also prohibitively expensive.
Yeah.
By the way, the paper talismans are called Ofuda.
Okay, thank you. I didn't have the word for that.
I might be butchering the term, but it's Everhood.
Sure.
This is also you may also know this series as Kiki Kai Kai. So Kiki Kai Kai started in the arcade as a game by Taito. So again, these are Taito related games. So these are technically Square Enix properties. Both this and the Ninja Warriors. But this is really neat. I think it's the same team that made the previous two remakes that also made the original games way back when are making this. So I am all for it. I have no compunction about this being good because they did such a good job with the last ones, and they're already working with a really good subject matter. I mean, like the Pocky and Rocky games are a lot of fun to begin with, so these will just be easier. They'll probably even add twin stick controls to this. I can't imagine they won't.
Yeah, those games kind of like they should like the SNES controller couldn't have really made that reasonably work. Maybe if you had the buttons fire in different directions, but it makes me think of Xeno Crisis, where it is a twin stick shooter, although you can only fire in 8 directions. But on the Genesis, it's designed for the Genesis, but you can't reasonably play a twin stick style with a Genesis controller.
Yeah, probably the best one of this era is Super Smash TV. Like Smash TV on the Super Nintendo had really good twin stick controls because it used the 4 button layout. Like that, but very few other games, if at all, took advantage of that. And so I'm really looking forward to this game though. This is great. There was also a fourth game. There was the arcade game, then the 2 SNES games, and then there was a fourth game for the GBA, Pocky and Rocky with Becky.
That's just a great name.
Yeah, and then there's one after that one called Guardian Heroes or not Guardian Heroes. It's called like
Gaia Guardians.
Heavenly Guardian, something like that. That was supposed to be a Kiki Kai Kai game, but never was.
Probably not then.
Yeah,
Gaia Guardians is a beat 'em up.
No, it's called like Heavenly Guardian or something like that. I don't know, but anyway, it was for the SNES, it was for the PS2. But this game is gonna be really good, and I'm really excited. And it's an official Pocky Rocky game, so
it looks like it is just called Heavenly Guardian, like
Heavenly Guardian,
like singular.
I was close. Okay, so moving on from that, this was a surprise. I did not know they were working on this. They are coming out with a VR edition of Doom 3, which is pretty cool, and it's going to be for PSVR.
Yeah, so here's the thing about Doom 3. It got like middling reviews when it came out because
I loved it.
Well, that's where I was going to go. Like, you had mentioned the sound design for like the weapons and the feedback of getting hit is pretty bad, but the aesthetic is great. It actually plays like a horror game. Old school Doom had a bunch of scary moments, but it didn't overall have a horror atmosphere. Like, the fact that there are demons around is supposed to be scary, but Doom 3 was a straight up horror game. Not a fan of the stamina bar, but like that in VR would be legitimately scary.
I think a lot of people complained about Doom 3 because Doom is a run and gun exploration game.
That's the whole thing.
And Doom 3 is not that. Doom 3 is more survival horror.
I remember the Zero Punctuation put it the best. It's like Doom 3 came into the room, slipped on a patch of water, banged its head, and forgot it wasn't System Shock.
Yeah, kind of. Especially with those audio logs opening button combinations, that was very System Shock. And I didn't realize it at the time, but the expansion Resurrection of Evil had the gravity gun, and everybody online was like, "Oh, that's ripping off of Half-Life 2," but like I hadn't played Half-Life 2 yet. So when I finally got to Half-Life 2, I was like, wow, that really was just like a straight up theft.
Yeah, but luckily, one cool thing about this VR edition is it will include expansion packs, which is cool. It will have the Resurrection of Evil and all the BFG BFG edition.
Oh, the BFG edition. Well, the BFG
stuff.
edition, I think it did have that one expansion where you play as some other guy, which was kind of cool. Resurrection of Evil's pretty nice. The only complaint I heard about the BFG edition is apparently the lighting isn't quite the same. I mean, you have the duct tape mod for your flashlight, but apparently people like the way the original game handled the lighting better when you could see. A lot of people complained at the time when the game first came out that I can't see and I need to shoot stuff, and that's really not true. When it's pitch black, there are no enemies around except for the one room in the game where that's the gimmick.
I like the switching mechanic. I think it works for the tension.
Yeah, it works for the tension, although it's stupid. It's really stupid if you think about it in real life. But yeah, it did work for the tension. It's funny, I've been playing Obscure, and you're high school students, and you find a flashlight, and you find a gun, and you find duct tape, you literally duct tape them to each other.
Yeah.
Where the fuck
they commented
were you,
on that
Marine?
When that game came out, actually. They commented on that when the game came out.
There is no duct tape on Mars.
Yeah, apparently not. And apparently there's
there are
no
chainsaws.
Chest area for your flashlight too, like there was in Silent Hill 2 and 3, and I think 1.
Yeah, but this is cool.
By the way, a little insight from Hugo Martin from the Doom devs.
Yeah.
Apparently Doom 3 is also canon.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, Doom 3 is Doom 1. It's just a retelling of Doom 1, so sure.
Well, I like Doom 3 quite a bit. It was actually the first Doom that I really got into, and I liked it. I played it in my college years when I was really into PC gaming, and I really enjoyed it. So,
I almost had the reverse effect. I mean, I enjoyed the game when I played it, but I was all in on shareware of Doom 1. It took me forever to play episodes 2 and 3 and 4, but I played a bunch of Doom 2, but I owned Final Doom, and I loved that game to death. So when Doom 3 was announced to come out and I saw previews of it, that was one of the few times that I was just foaming at the mouth, hyped for a game to come out. I pre-ordered it. I was getting at the store immediately. I was so excited when it came out.
I had a lot of fun with this game, so I really can't wait to play it in VR because I think it'll be it's a good fit for this type of game. So
yeah, and there already has been a Doom VR game, so why not?
Yeah, VFR, right?
Speaking of VR, there is also a mod for Quake 1.
Oh, neat. That has a potential for a lot of fun.
I think I was watching, the only thing I didn't like about it is that you have to reload weapons. Every weapon has a specific magazine size, and you have to anytime you run out, you have to slam down to yours. You have to make sort of this downward motion with your weapon.
Yeah, and it's a clever idea to make you feel like you're in the game, but those old games didn't have reloads. You just kept firing with your infinite capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially considering that the double barrel shotgun instantly you have to do it between every shot. It's a little bit.
Yeah, well that was the gimmick of the super shotgun. That was the thing that you reloaded.
Yeah, not in Quake.
Well, no, okay, that's true. I'm still thinking Doom too.
Quake was just bang, 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 bang.
Nice. Very nice.
Also, you can just reach out and pat enemies on the face and knock them down. So that also works.
Well, moving on from that, this was a really nice surprise. So Silver Case, the Suda 51 visual novel, 2425 is coming to Switch. I think we knew about that.
That was the PlayStation 4 versions, there's the Silver Case, and then a separate release was the 25th Ward. But Silver Case on the Switch, it's called 2425 because the 25th Ward is the extra one, so it's both games in one package rather than two separate releases.
Yeah, they confirmed recently the release date, which is going to be July 6th, and apparently there's extra content. There's extra stuff added to it,
added
scenarios.
Added to both games combined, and there's added content?
Yeah, there's added content on top of it.
Yeah.
Huh. So they are adding new content that's never been seen before. So it'll be the definitive edition of the game. So I'm very excited about that because I haven't played any of it. So
yeah, I think I mentioned this before. I was gonna stream it, and then I looked up why it was rated M, and I was like, maybe I'll do some sort of rated M stream at some point, but like I do not want to make that just like everybody come on in and
Lotus
check this
Prince
out.
After Dark. Kind of
Lotus
thing.
Prince Nights.
No, but like you have to do a trigger warning for certain types of content.
Well, that's the whole thing. There's no way I'm going to do a public stream of fucking that game. So it's like
Lotus Nights.
Okay.
Lotus Nights. That actually sounds
Lotus
pretty awesome.
Nights. There we go. Yeah.
Do you ever hear about Baywatch Nights?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, and then I get sued by David Hasselhoff. Because I remember I first heard about this like with the Continue Show, their YouTube channel. They're like Continue Show Nights, but that's a reference to Baywatch Nights, which was a spin-off show where David Hasselhoff is like a private eye by night, and I guess Baywatch is his day job. But apparently the show fucking sucked.
Honestly, considering he was Michael Knight in Knight Rider, I could buy that.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, what they refuse to acknowledge is that the reason why people watched Baywatch was not because of David Hasselhoff.
Obviously, because there were Playboy girls in the watch girls.
Yeah,
exactly, and not only that, but like they did this like that weird spin-off, and like it wasn't working, so they retooled like the second. I don't know if you know this, but they retooled the show for like the second season of Baywatch Nights, and they started adding supernatural stuff to it. So apparently, the Baywatch universe has like Roswell stuff going on in it, like
great.
X-Files kind of stuff going on in it.
That's marvelous. I know that David Hasselhoff had to fight the Yakuza at one point.
I know that there was one episode in Baywatch where people thought there was a sea monster, but it was just a Microsoft like doing horrible things to people.
Yeah,
because
it's a show that didn't age
in that show.
Yeah, it's a show that doesn't age well. I mean, there are other ways to get your kicks these days. I
don't know. I want to see every accident that ever happens on the high seas happen at this one beach.
Yeah, exactly.
How many drug smugglers are on fucking Baywatch Beach?
But anyway, moving on from that, this was actually a pretty nice announcement. NIS, Nippon Ichi Software, announces presents the NIS Classics Volume 1 with Phantom Brave and Soul Nomad.
Yeah, that's
Switch
pretty
and PC.
cool. Like Phantom Brave,
Nomad, not to be confused with Nomad Soul.
Yeah, no. Although I think it was only called that in America. Everywhere else is just Omicron. But Phantom Brave I think had already gotten the Switch treatment, but Soul Nomad, to my knowledge, was stuck on the PS2 until now.
Let me double check that, but I think you're right.
A lot of stuff's been ported, but I don't think Soul Nomad.
Phantom Brave at least made it to PC. So let me see.
Yeah, Phantom Brave did, yes.
Yeah. I think that's been to PlayStation 2, Wii, PlayStation Portable, Windows, and Switch. Okay, so there you go.
For Soul Nomad or Phantom Brave?
That was Phantom Brave.
Okay, and Soul Nomad I think is just PS2.
Yeah, I think so. And this is there's a lot to unpack here because these two games are really good. Especially Soul Nomad is held in particular esteem and hasn't had a re-release. I think there was a Japanese only re-release on PSP.
This game could use a re-release, by the way, because as cool as it is, I remember there was a friend of ours back in college who was playing this game, and there are some really large entities that challenge you, and if you beat them, you can, I forgot what it was, capture them or something. But there's one particular enemy type where once you capture it, it looks like the game crashes, and that wasn't like our copy. That's apparently a thing. So we went to GameFAQs to look up what to do about that, and they were like, just wait it out. And after something like 20 minutes, it's just like, ding, you got it, and the gameplay just resumes as normal. We're like, what the fuck? So I'm assuming that'll be fixed.
Yeah, so this game is particularly held in high esteem, though. Like, a lot of people really like it. So
yeah, it's pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, it's one of those games that, like, from this era where Nippon Ichi, like, was really killing it. They were releasing game after game after game on PS2. And so I think, this is going to be the first time since the PS2 that North America will get it. So that's a pretty big deal. And I think Phantom Brave is held well, but not as highly.
Phantom Brave is cool, but like it's not Disgaea, you know. Speaking, by the way, I wonder if they're ever going to re-release La Pucelle, because as far as I know, I think that's also trapped.
La Pucelle got a remake on the DS. Does that sound right? No, wait.
Are you sure you don't mean Rhapsody?
Yeah, no, Rhapsody. You're right.
Yeah, Rhapsody was the obscure one even back then.
Yeah, La Pucelle
that was a PS1 game, I think.
I think there's some rights issues with this game because, Mastiff was the ones who brought this one over.
Okay.
And this one desperately needs it because it was censored because there was a lot of religious imagery in this game.
Yeah, that was like the plot revolved around like the church fighting demons. So there's lots of we can't show crosses in this game that's specifically about the church, where your character's name is Prayer in French and the boyfriend's guy's name is Cross in French.
LaCroix, yeah.
Just Croix.
This game would probably have a lot of trouble coming over to the United States because it was already ported to the PSP and never came out to the US because of Mastiff. So, Mastiff is a very weird company. Very weird company. Like they release the weirdest stuff, and sometimes it's something you want. it's
Yep.
very, very odd. They were also released Gurumin in the United States first for the PlayStation Portable, so that was a big deal back in the day because it was, a Falcom game, so that was pretty cool. But anyway, what I was going to say about this collection is that it implies that there will be more volumes, and probably the biggest holdout from this era, like the biggest best game from this era that's never been ported, is Makai Kingdom.
Yeah, that game's badass. Although, interesting thing about Makai Kingdom is that one of the running gags not gag, but tropes in those Nipponichi games is that oftentimes, like, the real game is like 10% of the game, like the post game is the real content, and a lot of times you could unlock previous games characters that can eventually join you, like Laharl from Disgaea 1 shows up in a ton of these. But in fact, even in Disgaea 1, you can get Prie. But one thing about Makai Kingdom is that the main character of Makai Kingdom, Mao, I think? No, not Mao, that's Disgaea 3. I forgot your name in Makai Kingdom, but you're an overlord. He's voiced by Crispin Freeman, but in future cameos, he's not. That's a shame.
Oh, well,
he kicked ass at that role.
He's a top-notch voice actor, so I
understand. Hearing Crispin Freeman say "I'm a badass freaking overlord" is quite precious.
Yeah, I am excited though for the prospect of this series, and this is a good one to pick up. I mean, Soul Nomad is considered to be a really awesome game. I mean, there's other games from this era that could use a port, but these are like probably the biggest ones. So, Makai Kingdom is probably the biggest and best one. So, I will be excited for when this finally hits, because a lot of people will get to play that. And this was a pretty cool announcement. This is relevant to both mine and Lotus's interests here, but Limited Run Games did a surprise announcement of physical editions of both No More Heroes 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm shocked that those aren't just going retail, honestly, but the Limited Run packages do look kick-ass. They have the soundtrack CDs, which both game soundtracks are just great.
Yeah, and they even fit together to be a Santa Destroy flag, which is
that's pretty rad.
Cool. Yeah.
One thing about the new release of No More Heroes 1 on Switch, there's this one song by Genki Rockets, Heavenly Star. This like the most relaxing track ever that plays when you're clothes shopping. Apparently that song did not come back because that was like a licensed song, and they didn't renew the license. And the K Entertainment song, I think, was...
You could still listen to that song in Children of Eden. If
Child of Eden?
Child of Eden, yeah.
Bizarre. And there's also the K-Ent song.
The Genki Rockets are produced by the guy who made Rez and
Oh, are you serious?
And Children of Eden or Child of Eden.
Yeah, but also the K-Ent song was apparently missing by accident, so hopefully that'll be patched back in.
Yeah. I have bought this game a lot, but I still might buy this again just because you don't get very much physical like stuff having to do with this game. So I'm a sucker for Suda51 games and especially No More Heroes because that's one of the best ones.
Yeah, I played Killer 7 back in high school, and when I heard No More Heroes was coming out, I saw the trailer. I saw the trailer back like when it came out, like on 2006. I was super excited.
Yeah, and Travis is one of my favorite video game characters ever. I love his design, and I love his personality is hilarious.
He's such a fucking scummy dirtbag, but he has enough charisma to like keep you from hating him.
He's a scummy dirtbag nerd.
He's a douchebag.
Yeah.
But he's also and he's an idiot.
But he's very good at like the one thing he does.
Yeah, he is courageous and he is funny. Moe.
First line in the entire game. Fuckheads.
You're fucked. But I
wrong game, Vice.
Yeah, but that one's from Killer 7, but still.
Yeah, that was Coyote Smith.
Yeah, I love Suda51's style. He's my Quentin Tarantino of video games. I just like everything he does. I
Quentin
love
Tarantino and who's that? Is the other crazy guy? Who made Blue Velvet?
Oh, Blue Velvet. David Lynch.
David Lynch and Quentin Tarantino.
And if you also combine him with Robert Rodriguez, it's like all three of them, kind of. Like with all the if you like El Mariachi and Desperado and all that,
yeah,
Chete and all that stuff.
Except he's making games which are interactive, therefore 1,000 times more fun.
Yeah, but he has the chops for it. I mean, like his themes and writing are very unique that he explores. Like he's earned being held in high esteem along with Quentin Tarantino. I would say so. I love these games, and these are the best versions of No More Heroes. They're pretty definitive, if you ask me. So.
Except for Genki Rockets, but other than that,
yeah. I mean, it's a single song. I think we can deal with that. But I love it. I love it. Moving on from that, this was actually pretty cool. PS Plus got a nice. I hardly ever talk about like the PS Plus games that get a a shout out, and put on as a free game, because it's usually inconsequential. But I just thought it was cool that Sony put on Dark Pictures anthology Little Hope for free.
Yeah, it's less than 6
months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that was neat, and that was a game I was going to buy, so I was pretty happy about that. Moving on from that, Quantic Dream Sea of Solitude has been released on Switch. I'm not sure of the impressions of it. Quantic Dream's games are very divisive. Some people really like them. Some people think that they are not well written.
Is that where you boat around and sort of say shadow monsters keep attacking you?
I think that's Endless Sea or something like that. I think I know what you're talking about, but this is a...
It's obviously Ico.
It's Sun... I think we're talking about Sunless Sea.
No. Like, I'm talking... Like, this is a sort of this... Sea of Solitude is a narrative-based game, sort of this...
Oh, yeah, it's very narrative.
Walking simulator-like.
Well, that's Quantic Dreams' games in a nutshell, with the single exception of their first one, Omicron. But Quantic Dreams is like Indigo Prophecy, otherwise known as Fahrenheit. It's Detroit Become Human, like those games.
Yes, I know those. I didn't know that Quantic Dream made Sea of Solitude. Quaint. I heard, like, it. If I'm allowed to say this, I heard that it is very heavy-handed with the metaphors.
Yeah, well, that's
what they said about
Dream.
Detroit as well.
Yeah,
do you understand what the allegory is?
Yeah, I mean, Quantic Dream has always had that problem where I think their earliest games are held in higher esteem because they weren't as heavy-handed, but still they had problems. Fahrenheit and what was the game after that? You had Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain.
Yeah. So I mean, and then after that they get really heavy-handed.
The one after that, I forgot. Beyond Two Souls with Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
And Ellen Page.
Elliot.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, at the time. Excuse me. Yes, Elliot.
But yeah, you know what? This game made me think of the game for PC called Velvet Sundown. It's a very bizarre game.
I never heard of that.
Never heard of that.
Yeah. It was a weird. It's a weird free-to-play multiplayer weirdo adventure game that has rogue-like elements. Yeah, so I thought this was related somehow, but it is not. Yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know. Quantic Dream, you have to let them sit for a year to see if people hold it in high regard later, because it's usually there's some kind of anticipation for them, because they put in the production value. They certainly do that, but they're always slightly off, Scandinavian accents in this game about Americans. They're always a little weird. So yeah, we'll see how it turns out. So this is a game that we had talked about during one of the indie directs. It's a Gnosia. Was released on Switch, which is a visual novel or adventure game that kind of follows the same kind of formula as Among Us or The Thing. There's somebody on board a spaceship that is an imposter, a body snatcher.
Sus, as the meme
goes.
goes.
Sus.
God, Among Us memes have went out of... as usual, every meme on the internet has just went out of hand.
Yeah, but this is actually a pretty cool premise for a visual novel. I would say. You have to pick the person in your crew that is the body snatcher. So I think that's a pretty cool premise. The art is very, very lavish. It's very I don't know how to explain it. It the characters have a lot of embellishment to them and a lot of bright color to them. So I really want to see how that kind of shakes out. I want to see what people's reaction to it is, because a lot, with visual novels, if the story's not good, why are you playing? So I want to make sure it's a good one before I move forward, because I'm not going to waste my time otherwise. Let's see here. We talked about this before, but Pyra and Mithra from what is it? Xenoblade Chronicles 2 have been added as the most recent Smash DLC fighter. They are a combo fighter, kind of similar to Sheik and Zelda. They switch physical space.
Duck and the dog.
What, Duck Hunt?
The Duck Hunt dog and the Sissy Duck.
They don't switch physical space.
No.
Okay.
I don't play the game. I just only heard that the usual suspects were upset because they have nice shapely bodies.
I mean,
well, the duck is pretty sexy. Let's be real there.
She fits the bill. That's for sure.
Hey, the duck fits the bill.
But no, I mean, a lot of people are excited for this. There are only 2 more DLC characters left, though, and they have not announced them. So, who knows what'll happen?
It's going to be Plock. Plock is one of them.
Gino's the last one.
People have really got to give up on that.
Yeah. Also, who cares? He's from one game.
Yeah, that's the thing. He was a character that you may or may not have even had in your main party in one game. Like, it would be interesting to have Mario RPG representation, but do you really care about the actual character that much? Like, really? Do you?
Also, technically, that is not he is inhabiting that puppet body, so he can look like anything.
Yeah, you cannot grasp Gino's true form.
He did make a cameo appearance in Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
Nice.
But he was like on the side in like a mini game or something, and that's the only other time I think I've ever seen him. But yeah,
Bring out
Waluigi.
Starman from Earthbound.
Wouldn't it be amazing if it was just Waluigi and Gino, the last two guys?
I would fucking love it. I mean, Waluigi is like destined never to have a game of his own, but I would fucking love it if Waluigi showed up as playable. I mean, he's a trophy; it ain't happening, but that'd be so cool.
Yeah. Well, how about the Wario brothers? Like, I would love to have a Wario and Waluigi game. Where they.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Super Wario brothers.
Although apparently they're not brothers.
Well, they could call it that anyway.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah. It'd just be fun. And moving on from that, this game looked really neat. I had never heard about it, but I saw it on the Steam recent releases, and it also came out on Switch. So I thought it looked really cool, and it's getting good reviews from a lot of people. So I thought I would mention it. It's a game called Everhood, and I at first my first reaction was like, Neverhood's back.
Yeah.
Nope.
But it is not Neverhood. It is
Everhood.
It is an indie RPG that looks like it has similar art style to Undertale, but the battle system, instead of being you're the heart and dodging things like in Undertale, you are using Guitar Hero lanes as part of the battle system.
To be honest, like I would say a little like not Guitar Hero because you have to beat like press. Do you know what reminds me a little bit?
What's that?
Amplitude.
Audio surf.
Well, yeah.
Like, same idea. Like audio surf, amplitude, frequency, rock band, whatever.
It's the same idea. It uses a rhythm game lane
to dodge
with inputs all over it. So it looks like a lot of fun, and it looks like everybody loves it. So I am totally
mental.
down.
Like it seemed to be leaning a little bit heavy on the Undertale type of storytelling, but
that's
like,
okay if it's good. I mean,
I seen like a moment of it, like the demo, the last song from the demo is absolutely lost it. Like it's completely mental, and it's like in the good way.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this. I might actually pick this game up because it looks like a lot of fun, and it looks like it's just made by like two different people. So that's pretty sweet. I'm pretty excited. I think you can buy it for $10 now. And I don't mind putting $10 up to play this. It looks like a lot of fun. So I just wanted to give this a shout out because I don't think this is getting the attention enough attention because it looks really good. I think it looks like a lot of fun and it's unique. I have never seen an RPG battle system use something like that.
Well, it's not there are no random encounters. There are set encounters, and you are basically how to say it? You're going through songs.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm okay with all those things. So everything's a boss battle essentially, is what you're telling me. So, a scripted encounter. So that's quite all right with me. It just looks like a lot of fun. The art style is fun and familiar. So I am all about it, and if it has a decent storyline, I'm gonna be there. The battle system just looks like fun, and everybody seems to be enjoying it. I'm looking at the front page, and not one person is giving it a downvote. So that's usually a really good sign, especially for a game that didn't really have any hype. So I'm excited for the people who put this game out. It looks like a lot of fun. Moving on from that, I just wanted to put out a reminder that this past week, if you have Yakuza Like a Dragon for PS4, but you are playing it on your PS5, update your game, get your free update to the PS5 version of the game that will run better. There's no reason why you shouldn't get that, and you're getting a nice freebie there. The Xbox owners are not getting the same upgrade. So this is a pretty big deal. Though they're enhancing it quite a bit in terms of performance. So I wanted to throw that out there. This was pretty interesting. So I don't know if you guys knew about this, but they found so back when F-Zero GX came out, the GameCube F-Zero game, the last console one, they actually had an arcade version of F-Zero come out in the arcades. And apparently some hackers found out that the entire arcade game was on the GameCube disc. Like, they included it in the source code.
Yeah, I had heard about that.
So somebody just came out with a fan patch for it to boot directly to it. You don't have to use, like, codes anymore.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So you can effectively have a second F-Zero game all ready to go in your collection if you play ISOs or whatever like that. So that is a really neat thing, and I think they did the same thing with Mario Kart Double Dash. I think the Mario Kart arcade game is on that as well. So they might be working on that as well. So I thought that was a really neat thing. Because you can just run it on your GameCube, no problem. It plays exactly like it would in the arcade and everything. So that's a really neat thing. And I thought I would mention this because Lotus is a big fan, but Helsing is getting a live-action film adaptation penned by the John Wick writer for Amazon for
this cannot be playing Alucard.
I don't know who's going to be playing. What's that?
I mean, good luck pulling that off.
Yeah, I don't know any other details other than this, but I just thought it was interesting, just because Hellsing.
Yeah, I mean, good luck.
Yeah, I mean the Hellsing Ultimate is basically the best version of anything Hellsing.
I don't know. I like the shorter version.
Really?
The shorter version is good up until like the second half where it doesn't know what to do and it does its own thing, and like nobody liked how it ended with the final villain.
Yeah, I mean
with the other vampire.
Like... Yeah, the Incognito guy. Who's
I don't know.
That's his name, Incognito.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I like that one better. It was more subtle, more elegant.
I do like the first half, and I like the art style, but like Ultimate just went fucking bananas by the end of it.
Yeah, and the production value was excellent. It was so good. I do have the
TV series though. It is pretty sexy. The soundtrack, I gotta give a shout out to the soundtrack though. That opening theme is freaking great.
Yeah, I need to go back and read it. I started reading Hellsing, the manga, and then I kind of fell off of it. So I need to go back to reading it.
Well, Ultimate is an accurate adaptation of the manga.
Yeah, I might as well just watch it, right?
Watch the Team 4-star is the upgraded version.
The Team 4-star version is also very good. I mean, obviously there are like lots of heavy nods to like jokes that you would understand if you watched the real series. So I still recommend watching the real one first. But Team 4-star does a freaking excellent job.
Is that like fan translation, fan subs? Is that what
no, Team 4-star, the people who did DBZ abridged, they did Helsing abridged.
Oh, cool. Well, I just thought that was neat, and who knows how this will turn out. But I mean, the John Wick people do good work, so it has a chance.
Good luck adapting this in a way that like doesn't look terrible.
Yeah, and obviously it won't have like the highest budget in the world, so who the hell knows how it'll turn out.
I wonder if they're going to be fighting Nazis for like 4/5 of the series.
Well, I don't know whether this is a film adaptation, so I don't know what they're going to be doing. So, it's only 2 hours. So,
what do you do? Like a side story or what?
I don't know.
Do like episodes 1 and 2? Oh no, the mansion's under attack by the Valentine brothers. Got him, and that's the movie.
You could do a prequel, or you could do a bunch
There
of
is
stuff.
prequel content, but like, I mean, good luck.
Yeah, I know. I don't have much faith for live action anime adaptations. I mean, in general.
Yeah, there are very few that got away unscathed.
Even the Japanese ones aren't good most of the time. So
yeah, from what I've heard, the Kenshin ones are good, although I haven't seen them. Yakuza wasn't bad, although there are definitely a bunch of things I would change about it, including who plays the main character.
Yeah, make it shorter.
Well, that was the thing. They cut out a whole bunch of the game content because the game's long, but then they added an entire other like
story.
Third or half of the movie with a B story that never interacted with the A story and didn't go anywhere. Like, why didn't you just put more of the regular story back in?
Yeah, I don't get that. I think Mikami, or who was it, Mike?
Yeah.
Probably just had an idea for a movie and didn't have any other way to like sell it. So you might have put that in there. I don't know.
Even the JoJo adaptation, which was also Mike, apparently was not popular enough to get a second half because he did part 4 live action, like the first half of it or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good live action anime adaptation.
Yeah, like again, Yakuza is like about as good as it gets of the stuff I've seen, and the Kenshin I hear is just straight up good, but I have not seen that.
Yeah, I can't think of many. I mean, there's
Dragon Ball Evolution was pretty good. Avatar: The Last Airbender was pretty good.
I mean, that's not even anime. It's anime style.
Well, whatever.
So I'll give you a yeah. Well, I heard people talking about Guyver recently. Like there was the Mark Hamill movie.
The David Hayter Guyver.
Yeah, exactly. It also had Mark Hamill in it.
Sure did.
A lot of people actually. Some people are saying they like the live action version better than like the anime.
The anime is kind of stopped halfway through, I think.
But for different reasons, like it just has like a really nice B movie quality to it.
How about the Wachowskis' Speed Racer?
That's actually good. Okay, yeah, you hit it on the head. That one's actually.
Because like a lot of people saw the movie and they're like, "This is stupid and corny." I'm like, "Yeah, so they did it right."
You are correct.
Is it
fun? It's a Scooby-Doo movie. It's like, why is this dumb? It's like,
because
are you not aware of the past 40 years of Scooby-Doo?
No, Speed Racer was a good movie. Okay, I'll give you that. The Wachowskis did it, I think. Yeah.
And even The Matrix. Like, I know there's a Ghost in the Shell movie, but The Matrix is a damn good Ghost in the Shell movie.
It's a damn good...
The Matrix became on anime series. Well,
it's a damn good Invisibles movie, too. More Sins Invisibles. But yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that has to be the only one that I can think of that's good. I mean, there's plenty of great... Western comic book adaptations, but they're very
Danganronpa got an anime series, and it also got a stage play adaptation. Does that count?
The stage play adaptations always like boggle me, like Ace Attorney stage plays. Like, what do you?
Oh, speaking of which, again, not that this is based on an anime, but Takashi Miike also did a Phoenix Wright movie, which I hear wasn't great.
Yeah, well,
if they would make a stage play of Phoenix Wright without overly exaggerating the cartoon parts, I would watch that. It's a good,
I'd watch that. Yeah,
courtroom drama.
Just the courtroom drama. Yeah, exactly.
With an interesting twist and
lots of pointing.
What makes the Ace Attorney games so good is their style, though. It's and they're funny. They're funny reactions and how. I mean, the animations and stuff.
You gotta have some real good facial actors.
Yeah, I don't know. Moving on from that, I did want to mention, this is probably the last thing, but I had to mention this because I was surprised by it. So this had been coming out for a while, but I did not have high hopes for it. It was Coming to America. That is the sequel to Coming to America, but with
the word 2 is now the number 2, so they're both called Coming to America.
The original Coming to America is like one of my favorite comedies of all time.
Same.
I
Eddie
absolutely love it. Yeah, Eddie Murphy. Arsenio Hall are the stars of the original movie, and they play a lot of and just like in classic Eddie Murphy style, both of them play multiple characters in funny exaggerated roles.
Yes.
And this is before the clumps, so they're actually like a lot better than the clumps because they're not as fart oriented.
Yeah, well, even in Bowfinger, which I only saw relatively recently, I had no idea that Eddie Murphy played two characters in that movie as well. And
Bowfinger's great though.
Yeah, and when you see
he's
like
really good at that.
Yeah, well, when you see the nerdy guy character he plays, like he obviously looks like Eddie Murphy, but like I can't believe that Eddie Murphy has ever like acted that way in a movie. Just like
he acts completely.
Like it's like I would never have. Like, he's always the fast talker, so when he was doing, like, the unconfident nerd guy, like, I could hardly believe my ears.
Yeah, no, he did a really good job in that. That movie's very underrated. I like that one a lot, and that's one of Steve Martin's best movies, if you ask me. But, Coming to America came out on Prime, and, I automatically suspected, it's not going to be very good. And it was pretty darn good. I liked it. It's not a classic, obviously. It's not a groundbreaking movie like the first one, where they had brand new characters and like they did all this like crazy stuff and there's like a joke a minute. But like the new one was actually had a good script and it was a heartwarming story, and like their get-ups that they had for all the characters were great. They even had some new ones. So Arsenio Hall actually did a really, really good job. He's like an unsung hero. I feel like he doesn't get enough attention. It was really, really good. I absolutely recommend it for anybody who liked the original. Like it was pretty good. I mean, it's not the original, but it was a good sequel. It was a good sequel. I enjoyed it. It wasn't, bad like the Dumb and Dumber sequels or anything like that.
Probably the funniest part to me about the Dumb and Dumber sequel is the title, like with the wrong 2, like TOO, like Dumb and Dumber 2, like also. That's pretty clever.
Both of the Dumb and Dumber movies are after the original.
Yeah, there's a prequel as well when Harry met Lloyd.
Yeah.
I didn't like the movie. I didn't like the cartoon show. I didn't like the concept.
I can't fucking believe there was a cartoon show. Like that's like they made shows like anything, didn't they?
They made a cartoon show of almost every Jim Carrey thing at the time. They made an Ace Ventura one. They made a Dumb and Dumber one. They made. I
think the Ace Ventura cartoon was first. Before, I think the Ace Ventura movie was based off the cartoon.
No, it wasn't. It was an original property.
Okay.
The cartoon show came later. Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber. They did a Mask TV show at the same time.
The Mask TV show, wasn't that like? I mean, obviously it was on the success of the movie, but wasn't it more accurate to the comic?
Well, yeah, obviously, but it had all the characters from the TV show in particular, like the two cops, the bumbling cops, and they also had the voice actor was obviously doing a Jim Carrey impression. So
yeah, you could tell even in the opening credits where he's singing the theme song.
Yeah, I think they had also that voice actor did the voice of him in the Ace Ventura TV show too, which is pretty funny too.
Well, that's on point then.
Yeah. So
I think the only difference is the Mask, which was a comic book first.
Yeah, absolutely. It was in Dark Horse Presents first.
It was drastically different as a story.
Very violent.
Yes.
The comic has Stanley Ipkiss turning into the Mask and like taking out the guys in that car rental place. Like that's in the comics, but then it just goes off and does something else. It's a different person who becomes the Mask.
Yeah, and he's not like a good character. He doesn't have like the heart that like Jim Carrey's Stanley Ipkiss does.
Yeah.
But I like I said, they made a lot of cartoons out of. He was just a bankable person to imitate and have.
Where's the charming cartoon series of the number 23?
The Truman Show, Wackety Schmackety Show.
Yeah.
Was this? Is it Turn 23 a good movie? I never seen it.
Oh, it's terrible.
I actually have not seen it.
It's very bad. I saw it in the theater.
It's like the concept of Jim Carrey actually playing like serious roles is interesting.
He could do it. Like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah, I mean, and Truman Show is one of my favorite movies. I actually
Truman Show, he nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has moments. I mean, Man on the Moon, he did a great job. I thought he did a great job as Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he does have chops when he wants to. But like he also is miscast a lot too. So who knows? But he's also in stuff like I don't think he belonged in Kick-Ass 2. I didn't think he belonged there. And I like the Kick-Ass movies. I like them both actually. But I didn't think he belonged in Kick-Ass 2. I don't think he added much. It's just one of those things. But I think that's pretty much all I have for this week. How about you guys?
He was fun in Sonic the Hedgehog, though.
Yeah, he looked.
Yeah,
like
I heard that.
fun.
I heard he was pretty good.
He was himself, but yeah.
That's the whole thing. Like a lot of times when Jim Carrey's cast in movies, he's cast as Jim Carrey. So we talked about this before with Batman Forever. It didn't feel like he was doing Frank Gorshin's Riddler. It felt like he was being Ace Ventura dressed up as the Riddler.
Yeah. My joygasm.
God, I hate that. But anyway, yeah, I don't have anything else to bring up.
All right, how about yourself, Dracologist? Anything else you want to bring up?
There are news about the second DLC for Doom Eternal. New things are released
please bring that up. I didn't hear about that.
So I think that again it must be a three level map. Well, mission pack, a new weapon, new enemies, and there is. I don't know. I think that would consider it be spoilers, but I see sort of this spreadsheet, sort of this background where two forces are clashing, one led by the Doomslayer and one led by the enemy.
Okay.
And it looks fucking awesome. I am so ready for that.
I really need to play Eternal.
Yeah.
Also, apparently our old Plutonia friend will return to the enemy roster, so
sounds
prepare
good to me.
for that. This is a Doom gamer reference, but yeah, an old enemy type is returning to the cast of enemies.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to playing Eternal because I kind of just fell off of it.
It's interesting. People have divided this thing about it because it's the way it plays. It's not exactly Doom-like, so people get a little bit upset with it. But I think the fact that it is evolving, it's not that bad.
I mean, things do need to evolve in order to move forward. So I mean, yeah. I mean, doing the same thing over and over again. I don't want Doom 2016 all over again because I already had it. And Doom 2016 is one of my favorite, most perfect games ever. So I'm willing to play something new. Something that's a little bit different. So but if it's still good, I'm willing to give it a shot, even if I don't like it quite as much. I mean.
Well, look, you're still going to have a lot of running and gunning. You're just going to have it relies on resource management using your skills.
Gotcha.
You have to get your armor, health, and ammo through actions rather than you're going to find pickups plenty, but you're going to need the various actions to get those the pickups. Enemies will drop more.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Chainsaw drops ammo. Chainsaw drops ammo. You're going to need more. You're going to rely more on that.
What I did notice with Eternal is that I was running out of ammo a lot.
Yeah, there's much less ammo capacity for you, so you have to take that into consideration. And that might turn people off, but it actually kind of it helps not to stick with one weapon. And the whole weapon juggling thing is amazing. It helps you dash out far more firepower than you would think, because you can just like shotgun, bang, rocket launcher, bang, like massive railgun, bang, and you just like you cycle through 3 weapons and you can immediately cycle to the next without actually waiting to reload. It is allow you to output much more damage and without like just sticking with one weapon like in Doom 16, where you could have a fully upgraded the turret minigun and you just mow down everyone because you had too much. You had the infinite ammo rune.
Gotcha. Well, that's pretty clever if that's the case, because limited resources, when done right, can really enhance like the tension of a game.
The whole thing about that, everything runs out quick, but playing aggressively, you can get it back, is very enticing. It's something that it is done much more better than the health recovery system in Bloodborne.
Gotcha.
Because in Bloodborne, like I think Lotus can explain that in Bloodborne, when you attack, you take damage, you can recover damage by going back and kicking an enemy in the shin.
Yeah, pretty much. Immediate counterattack heals you a bit.
That's awesome.
And so playing aggressively, like even if you don't get hit, you want to play like with this cycle, this sort of. It's called the Doom Dance.
That's pretty
get
cool.
Your armor, get your health, get your ammo. And of course there are the super weapons that are basically a big middle finger to the enemy.
Gotcha. Well, anything else that you want to mention before we take off?
No, I'm good.
There is a game out there, a little roguelite called Adore. If you're interested in like sort of this non-direct combat like game, which is basically like summoning little mythical beasts and using them to fight other mythical beasts. Not a turn-based combat, but actually real time. It's worth looking into.
Oh, so it's kind of like Pokemon, but like an action.
Pokemon, but not turn-based.
Gotcha.
Like you are basically have to dodge roll out.
I'm looking at it right now. It's an early access game currently.
Yes, it's from Brazil actually.
Brazil has surprising games when it comes out when they come out with things like the the Xeno Clash games were both Brazilian, I think. Rock of Ages. Yeah. Yeah, it was. This is the only game that they put out, but it looks really nice, and it looks like the graphics are really, really solid, and the action looks like it's a lot of fun. So I think there's a lot of potential here for sure. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with me.
Anytime.
All right. Anything else before we move on? Okay. Well, that is the show for this week. Please remember to subscribe to the Corrective Consciousness YouTube and Soundcloud pages. While there, please give us thumbs ups, likes, and 5-star ratings on iTunes. It helps promote and spread awareness of the show, and any bit of encouragement helps keep the show going. You can also catch us on Thursday for our sister podcast, Corrective Consciousness, the podcast where we explore the inanity of pop culture. I think we'll be talking about some more of our favorite comedies, in addition to Coming to America, I'm sure. Finally, you can friend me as vysethebold on pretty much anything.
And you can follow me on my YouTube channel, Lotus Prince. And you can hit me up on Twitter at Lotus Prince. And finally, if you are interested in seeing my videos early, I've just started uploading Dark Souls 3, for example. Yeah. Getting in on exclusive live streams. Just started Armored Core, for example. Selecting upcoming games for me to Let's Play, or getting in conversations with me and other patrons on Discord, then perhaps consider swinging by my Patreon account, which can be found at patreon.com/LotusPrince.
And you can find me on... you can find me on Discord, Skype, and Steam, and now on maybe not on Twitch. Sometimes I sit down and try to stream, trying to get a little bit of clout there.
Nice.
There you go. Get some
under
followers.
The name Dracologist. Well, actually, on Twitch you can find me under the name Dog_Dracologist.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we will catch everybody pretty soon then on Thursday.
Until next time, everyone.
Good evening.
And beware the eyes of